Shoemaker on the carry. Shoemaker through the hole. Shoemaker to the end zone. Wildcats are pouring it on.
Hastings across to the middle. Goal! Goal! That's the game! Wildcats win it!
You're listening to Wildcat Week, presented by Amplify Media. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back.
We're back. Yes. Are in front of our live studio audience. You can't see.
Our live studio
this
audience.
Is great.
We
this
took
is so much
a
fun.
5-month hiatus
5
called
months.
summer break.
5 months.
That's about 4.5. I mean, I started my internship like first week of April.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 5 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like 5.
Like 4.5. Like 4.5 month
whatever.
hiatus. But it's great to be back. Owen.
It's great to be back with you, Donovan.
It's
We
great
don't
to
have
be
a
back
class
with you.
together this semester, so this is about the only excuse I get to see you.
Yeah, it is. It is honestly weird. Just like, okay, I don't have a class with you,
Yeah.
and obviously the audience can't resonate. But like, I don't have a class with Dr. Perry,
Yeah.
and so it's just kind of like
That's wild.
I'm just this random communication student walking
Dude,
throughout
who
the
are
building.
you?
I don't know. I'm just this guy. But no, how was football camp?
Dude, football camp was nice. It is football camp, so I mean,
Yeah.
we got Baldwin brought to us to the stadium.
That sounds delicious.
So ate a lot of panda.
Yeah.
And dude, and then Baldwin, like the coaches decided to just send us to Baldwin for like lunch and dinner, and like that was the greatest ever. So that was pretty cool.
Is it usually not open?
No, well, no, it's open, but we just don't have time.
Oh, so they just cater it.
Time, but like we definitely do.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. It was a blast. Good to be back, getting told what time I need to be in my room and stuff. So it was fun.
Well, yeah, but at least you're not a freshman, so like they don't do like real bed checks with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you still got to be in your room at least at 10, just to kind of.
Yeah.
Well, one, just in case, and two, it's just like a respect thing, and then I mean, honestly, I was probably in bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. Camp is a grind though. Like I remember like during spring ball, like when we were doing the podcast last semester, I was like, I'd come in and I'd be like, I'm in so much pain. But it's like, dude, fall camp was a grind, dude.
Yeah.
Well, because it was super hot during camp too.
Oh yeah.
So like, and I only have black tights for like my
Oh.
knee braces and stuff, and they're compression tights.
Oh.
Well, I say compression tights, but they're like kind of like crappy compression tights.
Yeah.
So they have like some form of breathing in it. But like, dude, like, and sometimes like I roll them up, but like sometimes they would slide down because I just get so sweaty because it was like 85 degrees in the like outside, so it was probably like touching like 98 on the field.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, I was beat. Like I was like I threw up like the second day. Well, because no, I had too much water though. Like it was like
okay.
I wanted to. I trust me. I was not about to cramp up. I didn't cramp up once, like on the
So
field. So
You made yourself puke?
no, dude.
Oh, okay.
So we were running team, and I knew I had drank way too much water before practice. And we did a team set against the one, and Gardy Paul, one of our defensive tackles, like he was just trying to shed a block. Like he didn't mean to, but he like punched me in the stomach.
Yeah.
And like that was the last play. And I like the rest of the offensive line like went over to our corner. I walked over to like the away sideline where the offense usually stays during team and stuff like that. Went in between two benches and just yacked like everything I had for lunch. Like, dude, it was before lunch. So everything I had for breakfast, like all the water. I mean, it was just straight liquid.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I threw up during camp. But like, so after that, I was like, okay, so I didn't want to throw up from lack of water or cramp from lack of water.
Yeah.
And then that was probably the worst day, like after practice, that was probably the worst I cramped too. Cause I had lost so much water. Like I was sitting in the cold tub and I went to go get out and like my leg locked up. Like my whole lower half just locked up. And I was just standing in there. I was like, oh, like sort of punching my calf cause like my legs. But no, besides that, camp was great.
Besides that, camp was great. Yeah, you know what?
So-
And the entire time you were there, I was at an internship in
I
a
know
nice,
you were
cool,
sending me
air conditioned.
Sending me great TikTok or not TikTok, Snapchats of
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice,
so
nice place to eat lunch.
That was the
and
only way
everything
you and
like
I.
that.
This is the only way you and I conversated this summer was through Snapchat, sending me like stuff at your internship. We texted a couple times.
I think you called me one time.
Oh, I did. You're right. I did call you one.
I think it was about like this.
Yeah, it was about the pod. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know when you were gonna be back.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, hey, if you come back early, you want to start early.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would have been kind
And
of
then
stupid.
I came back 2 days before classes started. So.
Yeah, my dad was like, "Hey, you guys gonna have an episode next week?" And I was like, "Well, Donovan, hasn't showed up, so yeah." So, so Donovan actually just showed up today, Dad. So no.
Yeah. But the show will stay the same.
Yeah.
So will be the first section will be what I think called the recap, and then the middle section, the interview, and then the last will be
Wildcat
what
rundown.
the upcoming. Oh yeah, the Wildcat rundown first, and then the interview, and then what's upcoming for the next week, next 2 weeks. But yeah, we're bronze tanned from a nice summer, so we're gonna get straight off into it.
Dude, yes.
So I'll take it away. So we flip flopped. I'm taking the men's sports for now. And the first one we get to go to is football.
Yes.
So football. Actually, Owen, you can just say football. I'll do the rest of them, but you just say football.
Okay, so all right, so we took the fat L last or 2 Saturdays ago. We had a bye week this week, so we took an L 2 Saturdays ago. Honestly, like if you really think about it, like if you watch the game, and I mean, if you ask any of the coaches this, they'll tell you we probably shouldn't have even been close in that game just because of how bad we played. Like we went down the field, kicked the field goal, and then I think we went 3 and out five drives in a row. Like the coaches were like, the coach came on the sidelines and he was like, "You guys are so conditioned." And I'm like, "Yeah, because I just ran like 9 plays. Like that's it." Like, but no, it sucked. I mean, a loss sucks, but at the end of the day, like it's against, it was a tough opponent. I mean, Valpo went against a fully funded Division I program, so like full rides and everything, because they're not. They're like
yeah.
So they went against a fully funded D1 program and lost by I think 7. Coach Lang said. So I mean, they literally took them to the wire. So I mean that's not an excuse at the end of the day. Like that game, if we would have played our best, we would have wiped them. Or it would have at least been like us winning and closer on the opposite side, and I mean, it's tough. I mean, like we had a kid who, it's his first year kicking, but obviously he's a great underneath me, but just because we've had Ben since my freshman year, who's kicking at Ball State, shout out Benny, Benny V. But and I mean, you put him in that situation, kicking a 54-yarder. I mean, I mean, you put Ben out there, and I think Ben makes 1 out of 4.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I mean, we start conference. I mean, we're going against the west side of the conference, Olivet next week. They're on like the west side, so like St. Francis, Illinois, like those schools, like Mobap. But we're going against them this Saturday at their place, and I think it's called like Burbane, Illinois, or something like that. But it's an overnight, so I'll be gone Friday. Come back late Saturday night. So I'm excited though. It's a 12 o'clock Central Time kick.
So 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so 1 o'clock here. The boys have been prepping for 2 weeks because we had that bye week, like I said earlier. So I'm really excited. I mean, we've definitely picked up the intensity at practice a lot. Coach T, our offense coordinator, has been like, really honing in on like, we know the details. We just need to run it at full speed.
Yeah, and I think as a fan perspective, not someone out on the field, for you guys, what I saw was an offense that had lost RB1, wide receiver 1.
Yeah, literally.
And so you're missing 2
and our starting
big
center
keys,
and our starting left
center
guard
and left guard.
Yeah,
and that's 4 giant pieces that you had to replace. And then also other guys are in the wide receiver kind of rotation.
Yeah.
But then you had guys that stepped up big, but especially when you lose your main running force, and then the probably one of the best wide receivers Indiana Wesleyan will ever see.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the best wide receivers in AA will ever see.
Yeah,
really,
and that's just going to be tough. You don't have a Megatron to just throw it to, and he goes and catches every single time.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think having 4 weeks to play 2 games is honestly, it sucks because it's just like, we want to go like out there, we just want to play, but at the same time, like it's been really good because we do when you obviously, our 3 main receivers, they're close. Like they're close with each other. They're really good friends. And they're all really close to Xander. So the connection's there. But I think just developing that, I mean, think about it, dude. Like we've had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices. So we've had 12 practices for 2 games to prepare for 2 games. So I mean, it's been a blessing because we just all get to really kind of hone in on our craft and just really grind out these practices. And obviously having 2 weeks to prep for all of that is going to be massive because we don't know what front they're going to come out in. Like they came in like in a 4-down front with 4 D linemen against Siena Heights, but then like they did that COVID season. They went down in a 4-down against the team before us, and then they came out in like an odd front. So like I mean, we've been able to prep everything. I mean, Coach T's been grinding, like, and we like to call it grinding in the hashtag lab. That's what we like to call it. Coach Dez, our new O-line coach, has been grinding with the run game, and I mean, Coach Blair, a former quarterback, has been grinding with the pass and everything. They've just been really, grinding out just the details with their guys. And I mean, our defense. Our defense is the best in the country, really. I mean, there's no way to really beat around the bush. I mean, our offense is probably, if we can really get it clicking, we'll be the best offense in the country. But I mean, our defense by far the best even in the country. I mean, I'm gonna ride or die for that, of course. But yeah, I'm excited. Sorry to drag it out, but I'm really excited. Yeah,
it's fine. It's nice to hear a little bit more about like the football team when you actually have someone on it.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. So next we'll move to is men's cross country, who is ranked number 2 in the nation. I think they've maintained that. They had their first meet of the season. It was the only home meet they'll have. They call it the Twilight Open, and it's the second year in a row Indiana Wesleyan has won it. And 2 guys we had on the podcast last semester, Eli Fullerton and Stephen Ott, who also run for the track team. They just floated to a 3rd and 4th place finish.
Insane.
So we had them at third and 4th, and then we had Braden Vernat at 8th, Landon Wakeman at 12, Ben Niedek at 15, Braden Sweet at 24, and Rafi Fry at 25. And that's out of 240 runners. Cruised on our way to that victory.
So you said that's top 15 for all of our runners?
No, it's top 25.
Top 25.
Yep,
sorry.
top 25.
That's crazy.
I don't understand how the points scoring goes. I just see a bunch of pluses and I see
that's why we need to have them on.
And so
we can have them on.
Whatever that means.
Explain it.
Let's just say we were 24-25 and the next closest one was 50-56. So killed them, I guess,
Actually, I know what it is. It's your points is based off of where you finish. So you want the lowest score.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like golf.
Oh, so
they
just added all the scores and then divided it by 2.
Yeah.
Or something.
Or no, they added so say you finish first and second, that's 3.
Oh.
I think. I could be wrong, but who knows? I mean, what you want, I think, is the more guys that finish. Obviously, it's stupid, but like it makes sense. But the more guys you finish close to the first place, like the better chance you have of winning, because it's like lower, like the lower your score is. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to men's golf. Men's golf is unranked so far this season, but they did finish 4th. At a golf course down in Muncie. Is called the Players Club Invitational. And one of our players, Blake Lefavor, I'm just going to Lefavor, finished 5th overall and earned a place on the all-tournament team.
Wow.
He shot even par across 3 rounds. It was a 3-round tournament. Indiana Wesleyan had their best score in round 1 with it posting a 293. The Wildcats did pretty good there. The Wildcats finished individually 5th, tied 16th, tied 37th, and tied 48th out of the 5 players that played for them. Moving on to men's soccer. Men's soccer has been on a tear so far this season.
They're insane.
Which they're still technically unranked, but next time coaches poll comes out, that's going to be different. So they started out their season against Anderson University. Easy dub 8-1, Grace Christian University, easy dub 5-0, and then they kind of got a ringer. I mean, it was a rough 4-game stretch. 3 of them were at home. It was against the number 4 team in the country, Columbia College, took them to a tie 0-0. Then they played Indiana Tech in Fort Wayne, where they tied 0-0. Then they had number 16 in the country, University of Northwestern Ohio, where they lost 1-2. I actually called this game.
Was that the one that was last Wednesday or something?
It was last Wednesday,
Yeah.
and personally, seriously, if it wouldn't have been for such good goalkeeping and just defense in general, we could have lost that game like 4-1. We didn't really have a whole lot of possession time, I felt like, while I was calling the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the goalkeeper, Aaron Carr, I think about 2 weeks ago, he received his first ever NAI Defensive Player of the Week. So not just out of the conference, but out of the whole nation.
Yeah, he's a dog too, dude.
Does absolutely
Yeah.
great in the goal. And then on last Saturday against the University of Rio Grande, we won 2-1, and we had it's Rio.
It's no way.
Legit, it's
What?
Rio. That's how people say it in Ohio.
Jeez.
It's
I hate
Rio.
people from Ohio.
Because I remember one time I called one of the basketball games, and before everyone was in my ear, just the entire time, it's Rio, it's Rio. Do not say Rio. They're gonna get upset if you say Rio. It's Rio.
Rio Grande.
Yes, but anywhere else you go in the country, it's Rio Grande. But in Ohio, they have to be different, and they say Rio.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we won that one 2-1, and both of our goals were scored by freshmen.
Hey,
Yeah.
yes, the Froshes.
Yeah, and then just this past Monday, which would have been yesterday, but this podcast is coming out on like Saturday.
Yeah, we're
the day
filming
of
on
your
Tuesday.
game. They played Adrian College, where I called that one. We won 4-0. I mean,
Nice.
it was a classic dub piece, and we had like 2 guys score their first goals ever.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So that was really nice to kind of
Good for
get
them.
the subs in late towards the game. And then that is pretty much it for men's sports that are happening right now. So, Owen, take it away with the women's.
All right, so for the women's, little spoiler. This is about the people or the ladies we'll have on the pod later. But the women's volleyball team, they started off super early. So their first game was August. Is it game or match? What do they call it? Probably
Match.
Match. Okay, yeah. So they started August 26th. It was against the number 3 team in the country, Bellevue University, and they took them to 5 sets and won 3-2. So that's huge. This was a part of a tournament, I guess you would like to call it. It's called the Columbia College Tournament. So it was 2 days, 4 games, 2 games each day. So the later in this day, on August 26th, they played against number 21 Grandview University and won 3-0. And then on Saturday, their first game, they played against Lindsey Wilson College in Kentucky, who's receiving votes still. They won that game 3-1, and then Allie, right? Yeah, Allie said it later.
Yeah.
Allie will say it later in the podcast because we're recording this after the interview. But it's their last game of 4 sets, so I mean it does kind of suck.
Whoops.
Your headphones are the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's the last game of 4 games. This was a back-to-back too. So they played that the Lindsey Wilson game at 10 a.m. and then this one's at 12. So I mean, literally back-to-back games against the number 1 team, Missouri Baptist University, and they lost 1-3. And Allie will tell you later that I mean she's almost positive that if they had a single day game against them, that the score would have been a lot different. So
Yeah, and she also said that that even though it was a 1-3,
yeah.
that she said the sets themselves were very close.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and obviously when you're just going to see 1-3, you're like, oh, they got blown out. But she said it was actually very close the entire time.
Yeah. And then they come right back in the Big Dogs Classic in Illinois. Big Dog. I'm gonna take a guess and say this was probably either hosted by St. X or St. Francis because those are 2 Illinois schools. They played their first game against Aquinas College. They won that 3-1. And then later that day, they played games at 6 and then 8:30 that night.
That's rough.
The 8:30 game was against University of St. Francis, Illinois. They won that game 3-0. Then they played Missouri Valley College on Saturday, the 3rd of September. Won that one 3-0, and then it's the same kind of thing. They played against a team who's receiving votes, St. Xavier University of Illinois, and they lost that one 3-0. But it was they're kind of getting
4 matches in 2 days.
Yeah, and I mean I know they don't want an excuse, but I'm gonna give them an excuse. So as a bystander.
tough.
Yeah, it's very tough. And then on September 7th, last Wednesday, they started cross-release conference play against a very good ranked opponent, the 25th ranked Mount Vernon Nazarene University of Ohio. And I mean, I was at that game. They dominated them. They won.
Beat the brakes
They
off
went
them.
25-20 or 25-21, 25-16, and then 25-10. That last set was just a dominate. Like, it was just I knew that Mount Vernon stood no shot in that last set, especially.
Yeah.
So they won that one 3-1. I was here at Lucky, good old Lucky Arena. And then this past Friday, they played against Thomas More University in Lucky Arena and won that 3-0. Going on to cross country are the girls side. They also obviously ran the Twilight Invite. It's hosted by us, of course. They finished 4th out of 14 teams in that.
Which, if I may interject real quick.
go
so
ahead.
I was there because one of my good friends who lives with my roommate who just proposed this past Saturday, his fiance, her roommate, runs on the cross country team.
Yeah.
I took an over under me and my roommate did on how many girls would puke. Cause you're running hard.
Yeah.
We said it was going to be over 5.
Yeah.
I only saw one. It was a St. Francis girl.
Yeah.
Bro, it was kind of nasty and disgusting. It came out like black tar.
That's so gross. I don't know why you would decide to.
I
put
just
your
thought there
2
would have been
cents
more
in.
puke.
Sure, Donovan.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. I also forgot to say about the volleyball team. They ranked 11th. So, and they started out the season ranked 17th, right?
I think 17th.
Yeah, 17th.
Yes.
So I mean, they're climbing up in the rankings. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, the cross country girls 4th out of 14. So solid start to the season for them. I'll talk about what they got going on later after the interview section. The women's golf team, probably the best golf team in the nation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just got announced with rankings.
Full of dogs.
Yeah, I mean they're beasts. They are. I can actually tell you their rank right now. They're ranked 9th in the country. So their first tournament was in Muncie as well in that Players Club Invitational. After rounds 1 and 2, they were ranked 1st out of 14, and then after the 3rd round, they still finished ranked 1st out of 14. So and especially we take pride in the golf team as a comm department. We got Sydney is on the golf team. She's a lefty too. I figured that out because of a picture, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but then we also enjoy golf. Like I played golf in high school.
Oh yeah, I mean I worked at my brother plays
plays
golf right now at Louisiana Tech, and then I worked at Arbitrace this summer, so I played lots of free golf. So that was sick. Shout out to Jack Hart and Doug. And then what's his name also Blake. He worked out there, so I got to meet. I got to get to know Blake a lot this summer. He's insane. I played with him too, so that was cool. Me and Carson Rogers out there on the grounds crew. Shout out Carson Rogers. My boy got married. Going on to women's soccer, they picked up right where they left off. They're 7-0 so far, 4-0 in conference. Or no, that was my bad, not conference. They haven't played conference game. They're 4-0 at home, 3-0 away. They started off their season August 11th. So they're actually the first team that starts games.
Wow.
Yeah. So they started against Southern Illinois University in Illinois. It was an exhibition. They won that 2-0. I don't know if that goes. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that doesn't go towards their ranking because of an exhibition game. But still, they won it. So who cares? They took the dub. They played against Lawrence Tech on August 20th. Dominated that game, 8-0. They played against Trinity International on August 23rd. Dominated that one, 7-0. Then they went against Roosevelt University on August 27th. Dominated that one, 4-1. Then they played the number 15th ranked Columbia College of Missouri. Guess what they did? Dominated that one, 3-0. And then they played against Judson University, who's receiving votes on September 3rd. Dominated that one, 3-0. Then they played against University of Rio Grande. On September 7th. Kind of dominated that one, 2-0. I mean, a slight dom.
0.
Yeah.
They left 0.
Yeah, exactly. And then they just played against this past Saturday against the Masters University of California on Saturday, and they dominated that one.
Wait, so how many
3-0.
goals have they let up the entire season?
1. We've scored 1 goal, and then 15, 19, 22, 25, 27, 30. So that was a good math by me. They're outscoring their opponents 30-1 right now.
Wow.
And we are already. I counted the exhibition games too. So I mean, if you want to be all technical on us, they're technically 8-0. But apparently Southern Illinois University knew they were going to take the L, so it was just an exhibition game.
Yeah, I was just looking at things right now, just like how dominant our women's sports are, men's too, but more women's, just because it sticks out.
Yeah, shout out to the girls, dude, or women.
Our worst fall team for the women's is ranked 12th in the country.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's cross country 10, soccer 12, golf 9, swim and dive 7, tennis 5.
That's wild. I'm not gonna talk about swim and dive because that's they haven't started yet. Okay, so lastly for the preview or for the rundown, the women's tennis team, they're ranked 5th in the country. And as we know from last spring, we talked to the boys and the girls. They're the most dominant group in the entire school. Constantly taking W's left and right. They just won conference, by the way. This is our 3rd week of school. They just won conference. Yep. So let me get to the schedule. So it's quite the list. So they are currently 9-0, 8-0 in conference. They are 3-0 at home, 6-0 away. They started their season September 1st against DePaul, won that 7-0. Then they played against Bethel University, 7-0. And then to end out the day on September 3rd, they played against Grace College, 6-1.
Yeah, you want to know something funny about those 2 matches they had on that day? There's no 2. My bad. It was the same.
I was
talking to one of the women's tennis players because I have her in a couple of classes, and she goes, I was like, how do you think you're gonna do this weekend against Bethel and Grace? And she's like, yeah, they're pretty tough.
Cap.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay. 13-1. Outscoring their opponents. Anyways, let's hey, she's being humble, okay? That's good. That's good. Anyways, on September 7th, they played against Spring Arbor University of Michigan, dominated that one 7-0. Then they played against Goshen College, your hometown, screw them, 7-0.
I never said I root for Goshen College.
I'm just messing with you. On the 10th of September, they played against Marion University, who's receiving votes, screw Marion, 6-1. September 10th, they played against Mount Vernon Nazarene University, another conference opponent. Screw them, 7-0. Huntington University of Indiana, another conference tournament or a conference foe, 7-0. Screw them. University of St. Francis, another conference opponent. Screw them, 7-0.
Wow.
Sweeping. I mean, literally, there is
They've
only
lost 1 set?
No, two. Grace College, they lost 1, and then against Marion, I guess Marion got lucky.
Wow.
Those freaking freaks. They got 1 on us. But I mean, literally, dude, it's a domination. It is insane. And then, yeah, and then obviously, it's so weird. It's like they start off everything so early, and then they'll just go like September.
Yeah.
I don't want to like prequel everything, but like September, like they have like 2 more things left in like our tournament. Then they have the Crossroads League tournament, and then they had the Midwest Regional tournament, and then ITA Cup, which is in Georgia. Yeah. But then they don't start nationals until the spring.
Like April.
Yeah, which is kind of wild. Like I guess I'd have to play it to understand it, but it is kind of wild to me. But anyways, are you ready for this interview? I'm excited. I say I'm excited just to make sense. But no, I was really pumped when we were able to get when Allie emailed us back and she was able to get 2 girls. And I saw Allie at Baldwin before this, and I asked her I was like, hey, who did you get someone else? Because no one emailed us back. And she was like, I got her. And she like pointed at her, and I was like, oh, sick. Okay, cool.
Well, she has a name. Her name's Cassie.
Cassie, yeah. Okay, I pointed at her chair. Yeah, I know her name. Chill.
Yeah.
But no, I was really pumped because I mean they're dominant. They're so good. Yeah. So yeah, and I mean I'm excited to have fall. So because we didn't have fall last year. So
yeah, it was a great interview. We came in 0 preparations. I'm just gonna be honest. And I think we
first pod of the year.
It feels nice to be back and everything like
really
that.
Does.
So are you ready for the interview?
Let's get in the interview.
All right, let's go right on over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first season 2.
Season 2.
First interview.
This is our first fall interview, too.
First fall interview.
Yeah,
Yep.
Because we started in the spring last year.
Yep, and your glasses are fogging up, and we are delighted to have the presence of 2 volleyball players, senior Allie Barkis, and then also weird second semester junior Cassie Gregory Jr. So let's give them a round of applause.
Yes.
All right. That's the first one of the year. All right, so ladies, how has the season gone so far?
It's been a solid start for us. We do have a lot of injuries right now, so it's been kind of a crazy first couple of weeks, but I feel like our team have kind of pulled it together pretty well so far, and 8-2, so I mean some top-ranked teams that we've played as well, so I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think the competition's been really well matched for us, and I think we're just playing as a team.
All right, yeah. So go into depth here. So your guys' first match of the season, you get matched up with Bellevue University. They're number 3 in the nation. Did you guys think you were gonna win that going into it?
I think we had high hopes to win. We were also down 2 of our starting middles, so it was definitely like we were kind of going in like, let's see what we could do, and we pulled it out. I mean, we just really came together as a team. So
I honestly couldn't tell you what I was thinking. I think for us, it was like, okay, this is our first time to play as a team for the start of the season. Like, might as well go out with a bang. And then once we started getting it rolling, there was no way of stopping us. It was just it was a 5-set thriller. It was so much fun for the first game. I would say that's a highlight of my the whole start of the season.
it was a wild start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys said middle. So me and Owen, we've been to volleyball.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
would go
probably
to
a B+ tier of knowing, because my girlfriend's sister who just graduated last year, she played volleyball, and so I went to a couple of her games and kind of and she's a libero like you are, so I kind of got, I guess I knew how to spell libero at the end of that year and stuff like that, but that was about it.
So, but go through the positions. So what is there else except for middle?
Okay, so you have your front row, and then you have your outside hitter, which is the one on the left, and then your middle hitter in the middle, and a right side hitter.
And these are spikers, they go up spike.
Yep.
So the tall girls. Okay.
Yep, the tall one's in the front, and then
I'm the short one in the back. So this is what they call a DS or libero. And we are basically, that's called defensive specialists. So those are just the short people that really just are standing in the back.
Yeah, and then you have your setter normally in the back right or front right position, and she kind of controls the court. So,
And then also, okay, because I did a couple of play-by-play for you guys' games last season, and I probably will be upcoming here soon. So I don't understand it when a point is awarded to a different team. Is there only supposed to be so many girls in front of the line, the what is it, a 10-foot line or something like that?
10 foot.
So that divides it into the front row and the back row. So you have your 3 in the front, you have your 3 in the back, and that's I can't, if I'm in the back row, I can't jump in front of the 10-foot line
At all.
At all. So yeah, if I get set, I have to stay down. If I jump, then it's a point for the other team. So that's there's little logistics about that 10-foot line.
So does that even continue? Let's say one of you guys' blockers goes up and it hits off their arm and it goes off the court. You're not allowed to even go in front of that, even if outside the court.
You can if I'm a defender, I can go anywhere on the court. So wherever that ball is, I can go. But it's just the jumping part is so if the ball's up high.
It's more for the attack part of it. So you can run anywhere on the court, but you just, if you're back row, you can't jump in front because then you're having a back row attack.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of just
that
splits
makes
that
sense.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense. But
It's confusing.
Yeah.
so we'll keep going. So number 3 Bellevue, you guys win, and then number 21 Grandview, you win. Then you win against Lindsay Wilson, who's receiving votes right now. But then you guys run into Mobap, and they handed you guys your first loss of the season. How was that loss? Just going into that match 3-0.
I think it's a learning process for us. We kind of found out where we need to work and what our weaknesses were, and then I think it was a learning moment for us. Honestly, it helped us to figure out what we need to work on and better ourselves. So,
yeah, they were a good team for sure, but I don't think they were any different from Bellevue. I think that we were playing point for point more with them, and then it just came down to that was our last game of 4 games in that weekend, and just really how fatiguing it is when you play 2 games in a day. And that just shows us where we need to work on is like finishing, even pushing through fatigue.
Yeah. And so those games were back to back. I'm looking at it's like it was that the Lindsey Wilson was at 10 and then Mobap was at 12. So I mean that was probably a grind of a day right there because like the Friday was 11 and then 5. So you probably had like a nice little like breather. But then to go from a really good Lindsey Wilson team to an even better Mobap team was probably like very just like I'm exhausted. Like you guys wanted to get out of there, but at the same time you had to focus up because it was the best team in the country.
I mean, taking him to 4 was like, a huge like achievement for us. I mean, I think if we got a chance to play them again in like a one-day match, I think it would have been different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, yeah. So so with my internship with the Chronicle Tribune, I got to go to y'all's game against Mount Vernon Nazarene, and that was y'all's first conference game, and you guys had just gotten one of your bigs back, Victoria. So I guess kind of explain like what's been going on with the injury situation. It's just been like, and then like getting those girls back, like the key girls like Victoria, because I mean she's one of the 2 seniors, like graduating after this year, and she's from what I saw on the court, she's very vocal and she's really good like up front and just making sure everyone knows where they're supposed to be. So how was that getting those girls back that were injured?
You guys.
No, it's huge. And Vic, she's such a big leader for us, honestly, and just her presence out there is a game changer. We just kind of looked to her in the moments where we're like, whoa, like let's regroup here. So she's a great leader for us. To have her back is huge, and then just her on the court presence, but also her play definitely helps us out. So she was kind of a key player that we really needed, and now she's back, so we're grateful for that.
Yeah, she's going through intense rehab with her knee, with like cortisone shots and just intense therapy to just have her playing on a torn meniscus, which is, it's huge. It's a big deal, but it also shows everyone else like how hard you play when you're when you're a senior, when you're in your last ride, what you want for your team. And I think that just demonstrates a great leader right there. But yeah, just injury with fatigue, and lots of our jumpers are the ones that are kind of
going through
it. So but we're getting through it. Everyone's getting back. Our trainers are doing a really great job of keeping everyone healthy and trying to get us back out there.
So you guys have, I just looked at it, you guys have 6 freshmen on the roster. Have they like had to have a lot of learning experience? Have they been able to just kind of jump right in, or has it just kind of been all over the place depending on who it is?
Yeah, we're young this year, that's for sure. And those freshmen, a lot of them are playing. They have starting positions right now, so they had to learn quick. And they're still learning as they go, but they're picking up pretty quickly, I would say.
They're keeping it chill
for
the most part. They're hanging there.
It's a lot of pressure for him, especially like our starting setter is a freshman. And setting is a huge role in the volleyball court. Like you run it, you're the quarterback of the team. But I'd say they're picking up on it pretty quick. And there's those freshman moments too where they kind of have to regroup. But we all have those too. So
yeah, your freshman year is never easy, and like fitting into the expectation of a team is like hard to do right away, but I think they really, I think the connection that we have with them is really special, and this has been a great year for me to see how hard the incoming freshmen are wanting it, and I think that's the difference of the past years and to us and our success already.
Yeah, so Allie, when you're in the back row, because you don't play back row, right?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, because you're taller than me. So I'm just going to go out there on a limb and not expect you to play back row. But, but
could do it all, actually.
But Allie, who has been the scariest person in practice to take a spike from?
Ava Joldersma. She, I think, she can dunk for real.
Yeah.
Like she can get up, and when my blockers on my side, I'm sorry if they don't do their job, I'm sitting back there and I'm questioning my life just a little bit. I'm just like, oh please, Ava, just don't hit it my way. But yeah, she's a big hitter, and she's a key person that we need for our team. But I'm glad she's on our team. So. But receiving it, it's a little scary.
She's a jumper.
And she's a freshman, too?
Yeah, she's a freshman.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
She's 5'10".
Yeah,
and her
my
jump
goodness.
is like
she touches
at least 30.
She can touch
Gotta be
rim.
more.
I know she can for sure dunk with the tennis ball.
Yeah,
Wow.
You guys have a lot of very tall girls in your team.
Yeah.
That is wild. Like, Macy, I'm looking at it as like Macy Staggs is like 6 foot.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
And so then, Cassie, who would be? We're gonna call out a freshman. Who's your favorite freshman to just
Oh gosh.
spike the ball right into?
Oh wow, this is mean.
Who's my favorite one to hit at?
Yeah. Who's your favorite one to hit at?
Oh, that's tough.
This could go into hazing, Donovan.
Yeah. it
Oh
actually
gosh.
could.
Just say it. Just say it.
Ava B.
What's the
There's 2
other Ava?
Avas. She's redshirting this year, so she's kind of just a practice player for us. But
I mean, if you're gonna score, you're gonna score. You gotta
Right.
go.
Yeah,
if
you
you
gotta
gotta score,
do
you
what you
gotta
gotta
score.
do.
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You just you
That's
know,
freshman hazing.
Yeah.
it is a little bit, but
How
yeah.
often do you get hit in the face? Like I want to know that. Like, does it hurt? I mean, obviously, all right, that was a
Yeah.
stupid question. I was about to ask, does it hurt? Of course it hurts. But it's like how often does it? And it's like, does some hurt more than the others? Then,
I feel like I've taken some hits for sure. I have last year at nationals. There was one. I have it on video. It is stellar. I mean, I was trying to turn real quick, but it always hit the side of me. But yeah, I don't know. From a young age, and you're playing back row, you just gotta expect that you might get hit.
Yeah.
And
Put your hands up
I
quick.
think I like have like a deviated septum because of like I think it's from volleyball.
yeah.
But there was never a time that I was like, oh, like, you know, I can't play or anything like
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
it's never been that bad.
Yeah, it's like it happens, and you're like, oh,
That ball
crap.
moves
And then,
fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, 100%.
It does.
I saw you guys like at your game, and like there was a couple times where I'm just like watching the ball go back, and I'm like, how are they doing that? I'd be like, I'd literally just like jump out of the way and try
Hey,
to hit my
sometimes
arm
that
or
happens
something.
too.
You gotta have quick reflexes for sure.
Yeah, no, I remember calling a game for you guys. I think it was against Goshen last year.
Yeah.
It's I'm from Goshen. So I didn't know anybody on the team, but I was like, okay, this is like kind of like a hometown team they're playing. And I remember someone on your guys' team
And a caller. I know it.
Yep.
spiked it and it just
Right in the
Nailed.
face.
We have it on
nailed
video
this
and we put
girl.
it in slow mo.
Yeah.
Oh
and
yes.
and it was one of those where like she was like hurt. She
Yeah.
got hurt.
Oh,
Like
And it
went
was-
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
went down. And I
Poor
was like,
girl, not really because she's on another team, but like,
Yeah.
over the air, it was so hard not to laugh in that moment. But I was like,
a stellar hit.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's tough.
But so break down nationals because obviously we've never been out to nationals for you guys. Where does it happen?
In Sioux City, Iowa.
Sioux City, Iowa. Okay.
yeah,
Middle of
everything's at
nowhere.
Sioux City. pretty
Everyone's in
much,
Sioux City
yeah.
for NAIA. But at least on like the pictures I've seen, is it just kind of like multiple courts, like all in a row?
Yeah, three.
There's 3 in a
courts.
row, like in a big arena.
So you guys
Yeah.
just play.
What's
Is it
the
like
arena called in Sioux City? Is like the
Tyson?
Is it the
Yes.
Tyson? So it's the basketball
Chicken
arena.
Nugget
Yeah.
arena.
Yeah. Yeah,
chicken
but they like
nugget
go
arena.
down like so. Then you get into like the final,
Yeah.
like you know, down
Yeah.
more, and they do like one big.
Okay. And how many
Big
teams
court.
is it? Is it like a 32 or?
I think so.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Got
Does
it.
but does that like ever phase you guys? Like you're playing on a court, and like is there another game playing right beside you guys? And like how is that? Is it just like a net that's brought down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're so used to that. Like, most of us have played club or travel ball, and it's like hundreds of courts in the same convention center.
That's
So you're
wild.
kind of used to like all the whistles, all the calls being made. So I wouldn't say it affects.
It's a big loud environment. I think like it's like scary at first because you're like walking in and you're like, oh my gosh, this whole place is huge. But then once it fills up with fans and everything, it just feels like another game.
Yeah, you just zone in on your court.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So run us through some volleyball plays. So like, let's say you want your setter to hit it over to, I don't know,
You
whoever.
sound so stupid.
What's
We call zones.
Zones?
So
Okay.
like,
All
right.
so
Yeah,
the
like
court is
positions.
divided into 6. So you know you have
Okay.
6 girls on the court. If you're looking at it,
If the net's in front of you.
Got
Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
so that's how it's divided. And so when I'm calling my hitters shots, I'll say like deep 5. So that means like the deep corner.
Okay.
Or like at 4 is the sharp, like other girl.
And does your coach, does he actually hold up numbers that have a meaning to them, like before you go to serve?
Yeah,
Yep.
they'll
Okay.
hold zones. So like, you know, I don't know. They do like if you go
This
in
is
between
like
6, and so if you go like 5, 6, that's like in between.
Okay.
So it's a little confusing. Some people, that's a valid question to ask because
Yeah.
people see them doing hand things to us, and I'm always looking over, and they're probably like, what?
Like,
So-
what is she doing?
So I know you serve. Do you now
Nope,
serve? Okay.
I don't serve.
Okay. So do you try to put spin on your serves, or you just kind of just hitting it to the zone?
I mean, hitting to the zone is important, but floating the ball, so how I contact it determines like the ball
It has
movement.
like a movement.
So like if it's not spinning at all, it's a good serve because like it's most likely gonna drop. It's most likely gonna move.
It's
And
like
as a
knuckleball
passer, it's
in
hard.
baseball.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But and as a passer, like in receiving that, it's tough to pass.
Yeah.
So
Very interesting.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
volleyball is a very interesting sport, honestly.
All
Like,
There's
if you go to watch it, like it's one of those sports where it's like it's pretty interesting, but at the same time you're like beyond confused.
It's like very deeper than
Yeah.
like you'd even
your
think.
Yeah,
backyard volleyball is not the same.
No.
No, yeah.
Like
Like
our
those
beach
sand
volley-
courts?
Yeah, sand courts here at IWU, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm like, "It's a
so
little bit
different.
more confusing."
Yeah.
than
You're
that.
like, guys, chill out. This
Yeah.
is- it's so much sick. In here. Like we know what we're doing. You don't.
Okay,
so.
honestly though, playing with some of those people on the sand courts, way harder. 'Cause
Yeah,
you have
there's some
no
good
idea
people.
what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
That is
true,
very
yeah.
true. You
Yeah,
put
there's
me
probably
and
like
Owen,
structure and stuff too. What you guys
Yeah.
are doing.
put me and Owen out there. I mean,
Oh, I'm trash. I did it.
First of
I
all,
did it
I'll get
one
all
di-
those digs,
yeah,
okay?
One time, and I was
Back here with the short
awful.
people.
yeah.
Never again. Never did it again.
No, it's fun.
I think I would always be afraid of someone just spiking and just like breaking my glasses right in half.
That's a
but-
fear. That's why
yeah.
they say like
Hands up quick.
hands up. Yeah, that just like that.
Exactly.
So have you ever gotten like the pancake save?
Had one today in practice.
did.
I
Nice,
did.
nice.
Yeah, those are the moments where I'm like, oh, please, just it's so
Just
far.
hope it
Like
hits.
it's so far.
Does it hurt when like your hands on the ground?
Mm-mm.
No, it doesn't. Okay, I didn't know if it felt like it was like jamming or something.
No.
You keep
Okay.
it flat. Maybe if you had like knuckles up.
Yeah, then it'll be
But-
bad.
Yeah.
So do you
That'd
guys
probably
do like conditioning like for volleyball, or is it just a little bit more?
I would say it's a lot of conditioning. Like people don't really. I mean, it doesn't look like we're doing a lot of
Yeah.
running, but we are on the net, off the net, jumping, landing, off the net. Like it's super, and like you're doing it 5 times in the same play. It's exhausting. So like we have to keep up.
It's definitely like a short burst of cardio, and like people are like, "You don't run," and I'm like, but like
Not
it's a
necessarily
different
distance.
type. Like
Yeah.
your heart rate gets up so
Yeah.
fast because, like you said, back movement, shuffling, diving after a ball. I mean, you even getting off the floor, just like.
I mean, you're
takes
diving and your play still going. You gotta get up.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I gotta get back up, and I'm already like breathing heavy. Like it is a lot more cardio than what people expect. So yeah.
All right, now I will say I do have one pet peeve that I'd like for you guys to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we scream after every point?
That's a good question.
It's an energy hype.
Like I feel
you
like
suck.
I'm just asking.
suck.
Okay,
just
that's
asking.
a valid question.
Well,
though.
valid
okay, I
question.
feel like you could say like in football when you score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, why would you
Absolutely.
cheer?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
No, I
Okay,
agree.
but the fact that like volleyball, you're divided by a net.
Yeah.
And like there's a little bit of like a pride moment if you're you got a killer
You just block
like you're
somebody.
just like you're just that's a moment of pride like because if you're in football or
Yeah,
you're in
no.
basketball you can kind of get up in somebody's face and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
talk something but like there's a momentum shift when you like do something big and that team's like we're just killing you
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
something about it.
It's like
I
a
don't know.
momentum.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
ever since
definitely
I've, like,
you can definitely
10.
tell too, like the shift. Like I remember in the Mount Vernon game, the second set, you guys were down like early, and then you guys came back, and like something happened when you guys tied it. I forgot what happened. I don't know if it was like a kill or something. Like I remember like everyone erupted and like everyone like freaked out, and I was just like, whoa, this is sick.
Yeah, and I think like once the team starts like cheering for a point and it's like a big point and then like the crowd does it, that's like it's a momentum changer for sure. And like I don't know why we do it. I mean, there's times I'm like, yay, but like
There's definitely moments that are bigger than others. but,
yeah, for sure. But
like stuff blocking someone, nothing better.
So do you guys chirp back and forth with the other team at all?
no, I
Oh,
feel
no.
like
if
we
I
just-
was closer to the net, I totally
she
would.
might.
Okay.
I have a little bit of a temper and it'll come out.
She's
But
got a
like the
sassy
ref
side.
sassy for sure. And like the refs will like I'll be the first one to stare at a line judge and stare him down. Like
They're quick
that's
to pull a yellow card too on you.
And-
Wait, there's yellow cards in
Yeah.
volleyball?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Like
Yes.
soccer? Like,
yeah,
Like-
yellow and red.
oh, that's sick.
It's more like for when you're yelling at the ref because they made a bad call, and then they're like, nope.
Yeah,
stop.
if they don't want that, they can. Or like over stupid
Yeah.
things, like if the team's not coming out of the huddle fast enough, they'll like give them a warning.
Yeah.
But
But I wouldn't say, like, I feel like smack talking, they would kind of
Yeah.
shut it down pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really have that
I
issue.
feel like no smack talking, but I'll argue a call for sure.
Yeah.
Like I want that
Yeah.
for my team.
So, like, do you guys, like, have captains that can, like, technically argue with, or can anyone just do
Yeah.
it?
So, like, we have your main set of captains, and then you have a floor captain. So, normally somebody who's on the court the whole time, and they're the ones to go up and talk to the head
Which
ref.
surprisingly, it's me, and I'm like, Coach, are you entrusting me to talk to with the ref right now? Like I so far haven't had a bad conversation with the up ref, but
Yeah.
like line judges,
They're the ones that kind of.
it's the ones that I'm like, come on, like, and I mean, they gotta love a little sass, like gotta act like they're standing up there the whole time. They gotta
Be able to take
appreciate-
it a
yeah,
little
they
bit.
gotta take it.
Let's be able to take a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You have anything?
Yeah, so this is Coach Motz's 20th year, correct? Coaching at IWU?
For
21st.
I feel like it's over 20.
I feel like it's over 22.
Really?
But I couldn't give you a number.
Because I remember when I was writing my article, I like saw, I looked it up to see
Yeah.
how many years, and it was year 20. I did the math. I thought
Okay.
I could be wrong.
You might be right.
Yeah.
I don't
But-
know.
Because I was gonna ask like if she has been like not if she, but like if you guys been making kind of like a deal about it or what. So I didn't know.
It hasn't
This
been
is
brought
year
up.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She started in
Okay.
2000.
I think they did something for
Oh,
her
yeah, yeah.
last year. Or maybe that was for wins. I don't know. They did something big for her last year. I know that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that was number of wins.
Yeah.
So, as we're kind of wrapping up this interview, what are you guys planning? Obviously, you guys want to make a national championship run, everything like that. But you guys went to nationals last year. Did you guys go to nationals the year before that as well?
Yeah. I was here for that. We did. We were. Cassie was here.
I was not.
But yeah, it was pretty similar to how we ended this year. So like for me, I just want to get out of like that Sweet 16 and like stuff like that. That's
Elite 8 would be huge.
Yeah.
So you guys have been stopped kind of like consecutively in
Yeah.
the Sweet 16.
We had a good chance, but based off of the rankings, got put in with like
We
the
got
number one team.
Oh.
And that was like they were stellar. I mean, they were like 56-0. Like they were
Something
insane.
crazy.
That's
like they
wild.
hadn't lost a game, but they ended up not winning. They ended up losing, which I mean made us feel a little bit better. But it gives us a little edge on our shirt to like not just settle with always getting to the Sweet 16. Like I think for me, I want to make a long run as possible.
Yeah,
obviously.
definitely.
So, and I know
Well, obviously, it's your last season,
Yeah.
right?
almost done.
Maybe
It is
coming back for a fifth. grad
Coach
year?
would probably want me to, but no, I'm actually graduating in December, so
Oh. okay.
yeah, but I'll
She's
come
gone,
back.
gone.
I'm gone.
Gone. So you guys are heading into kind of the rest of your guys' Crossroads League season. You actually just kind of started.
Yeah.
And how are you guys looking forward to it?
I'm pumped.
Running
I mean,
the table?
Yeah. We
First
got
one.
so much potential. And like now we're just kind of getting in that groove and we're in a rhythm now and we just got to carry it through. So
Yeah, we always have a target on our back, and I think like there's some beef with some other Crossroads
No.
teams, and like I feel like proving to ourselves like how hard we've worked just in our preseason, which we had a really long, really tough preseason, is like just makes us want it, and like just not settling because we won conference my sophomore year, and then we fell short in 5 sets last conference championship against Marion.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
and it was by 2 points, and that just like
it's a tough loss.
it's a tough loss because we knew we had it, and we knew that we totally, and it was at their place, so it's like so close. So this year there's something about like let's win conference, let's just get into the zone by the time we get into nationals, but conference is a big deal to me right now. Like we're gonna take it a little personal.
Yeah. So you guys are sitting at 11th in the country, which you guys started unranked. That's pretty cool.
thought
you
we were
got-
17.
There was
Okay,
definitely
maybe you guys started
17,
17.
Donovan.
All right. I was wrong.
Nice research.
But yeah, you You guys are going to have Taylor, who's 18th, and Marion, who's number 3. So, yeah, definitely 2 big targets for
How's
you
that
guys.
Taylor competition? We always usually ask our guests, like, what's the beef with Taylor? Because, like, tennis team was kind of our number one. I was really hoping they, like, had beef with Taylor, but they don't.
Yeah, no, we got big beef with Taylor.
Sick. Let's go.
It's always when we go to their place, though.
Well, I mean, we had in the conference tournament, we played Taylor here, and it was their whole student section came. It was a big
the
battle.
schools came.
Yeah, like it was a battle on the court, but then in the student sections too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It was
There
wild.
it's because we're so close, but this year, I mean, competition-wise, they got a lot of transfers, but I don't know what their dynamic is, and I don't know what they really have that we don't have. So, I mean,
It'll be a good match, but
I think it'll be a good match.
Are they usually pretty successful? Because you said they're, 18th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are they usually, like, pretty successful? Or
The last 2 years, they've upped their game.
Really?
For sure.
Because I know, like, since my freshman year, it's always been, like, before even you had gotten here, it was always us and Marion.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I didn't know, but that Taylor was kind of creeping up. So
Yeah, they are. I'd say, like, the past, like, I'd say 5 years. Like, 5 years ago, they haven't been very successful.
they're
And
making a name for themselves now.
But they
for
definitely
sure.
are. Coach is stepping up over there and
Yeah.
bringing
Definitely.
competition.
Yeah, so you said a moment ago dynamics of a team. So, like, is there different paces that teams go at? Or, like, what do you mean by, like, dynamics?
Just, like, I think how a team flows based on, like, I don't know. There's something to, I mean, I know most of us are transfers, and that's always hard when you get a team with a bunch of transfers, but buying into the culture has a big thing to do with, like, the dynamic. And
the connection, like on and off the court. Like volleyball is huge for connections off the court. Like that's really going to be how you play. And then it just seemed everyone's just in it this year and ready to go. And we're all kind of on the same page and it's working for us.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the
thank
podcast
you.
with us. You guys were the first people of season 2 fall, because we started this in the spring last semester, so we didn't do any fall.
It was the women's basketball team, and now it's the volleyball team.
Yes, it was women's basketball started. Now it's volleyball.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for coming on. And let's see, you guys have
They could probably
at
tell us.
Huntington tomorrow, which we're recording this on Tuesday, but it won't get released until Saturday. So you guys will have Huntington and Goshen between now and then.
And then
Big
Bethel.
dubs. Big dubs.
Should be.
I think,
dubs.
Is that
For
Bethel
sure.
game going to be good?
Yeah, that'll be a good game,
Okay.
too. They're always a pretty good
Yeah,
matchup.
they're receiving votes. I can
Yeah.
see that. So
They're normally pretty tall too.
Yeah,
Big
they got big
girls.
girls. I mean, sometimes I'm like, how do, like, you think our team has big girls? There's other teams out there. I'm like,
We're
holy
actually pretty
smokes.
small,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Yeah, like I watch like the Olympics and stuff, and it's like these girls. I mean, obviously, the dudes are huge. Like they should be playing like in the NBA or something. Like there's one I forgot, it was some foreign team, but like in the like they're one of their like front dudes was like 7'1". I was just like, why are you not playing in the league right now? Like it was crazy. And then the girls are like 6'5". I'm like, oh, how you doing, miss? Nice to see you.
Yeah. And
That's
they're like
wild.
6'5" at like age 14.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
even kidding.
Insane.
I'm not even kidding. And
Oh,
I'd say
Lord.
club tournament, the best thing I ever saw was a 7-footer dad, and he said, his shirt said, "I'm over 7 foot, don't ask." Because everyone asks, how tall you
Yeah.
are. But I was like, I wonder what his daughter looks like. Like, that was just, I was like
Yeah.
blown away.
You could probably just look around and be like, that's
Yeah,
probably.
you
his
can
daughter.
find her.
Yeah,
I'm
they're-
sure.
7 foot.
Yeah.
I graduated high school with a girl. She plays for University of Evansville, and she's 6'2". And I'm just like,
Yeah, I think that's big. I think she's 6'2".
Yeah, she is.
Little Donovan looking up.
yeah, it's a life of looking up for me. All right, but thank you guys so much. We'll let you guys go. We'll end on that. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
it,
for having
guys.
us.
Yeah, sweet. That was you.
That was you.
All right.
All right, back out of the interview. So yeah, great interview, like we
Great
said it was
interview.
gonna be. So I'm gonna lead it off. I forgot to say the men's tennis recap, which I'm sure our male audience will be quite sad about, especially if you're Isaac or Trey.
They're gonna be
So
I'll make sure to tell them if I see them at Baldwin tomorrow.
they are sitting at 6-3 right now. So they beat DePaul University 4-3. They
Yep.
beat Bethel University 7-0, and then they lost to
Domination.
Grace College, who's receiving votes 1-6. And then they beat Spring Arbor University 5-2. They lost to Goshen, unfortunately, 2-3. But then they beat 25th in the nation, Marion University 4-3. And then they beat Mount Vernon 7-0,
Domination.
lost to Huntington 2-5, and then whomped on St. Francis 6-1.
Screw them.
So we'll get
What are they
into,
ranked? Are they ranked?
So they came into the season ranked 3rd, but we did have I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We did have a lot of our big impact players leave.
For real?
The coach left. And
No, wait, what?
Well, no, the coach retired.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I did
after
not
this
know
past
that.
season. The coach
What was his
retired,
name
Shigley.
Shigley, yeah.
He retired, and I think,
No.
I don't know, things happened, and a good number of our impact players left. And so it is kind of a struggling season for them to kind of get going and everything like that. But the new coach, I mean, I've met him because I'm doing a documentary for the women's team. And he's a great guy. I think he'll be a great coach for the Wildcats. It's just, just got to rebuild it. The ladies didn't lose anybody.
Yeah.
So they're able to just kind of come back to right where they were and still be dominant.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to what is it? What's gonna happen? What's that? What's the word?
Wildcat
What's the
preview?
word? Preview. All right, so we're gonna go into a preview now. For men's tennis, they will have a couple things happening. So they will have their regular IWU Fall Classic that starts this Friday and Saturday, the 16th and the 17th, against Indiana Tech and Lawrence Tech, and then the next week, so the 20th through 24th, they will have their Crossroads League tournament. And so that will be it for men's tennis coming up. Men's cross country, they are off this week, and then next Friday, the 23rd, they're going up to University of Minnesota. So they'll be running in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
I feel like people from Minnesota are weird, but like super nice. Like they should be Canadian.
No, they are Canadian.
Yeah, like they sound like Canadian.
Most Canadian people live south of Minnesota. They all live in Ontario,
Yeah.
Toronto. That's all lower.
Yeah.
Toronto's lower.
Yeah.
It's even with Detroit.
Yeah.
It's that far south.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. And so then we'll move on to men's golf. Men's golf has their NAIA Midwest Invitational. It will be September 26th and 27th. That will be at TPC Deer Run, where the John Deere Classic always is. I remember they always,
That's in
since
Chicago,
I've known a
right?
couple. Yeah, it's in one of the suburbs of Chicago.
Sick.
And I remember hearing people love going to that one.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
would too.
probably
It's
sick.
it's
And
a
the
pro
course
course.
Yeah, the course is probably in sweet shape
Yeah.
too.
I wonder if they had the little John Deere tractor tee boxes like they do for the tournament. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. I'm
they
trying
put
to
little
think,
John
yeah.
Deere tractors for the
I
tee
wonder if
box
they would do
markers.
that.
Probably not,
Probably not, 'cause
since
that's
it's just
sponsored.
NAI. But
Dude, they should. Totally.
but yeah, it's also
you want
not
to go out there and do
sponsored.
it?
Yeah, I think we should just do it, man.
Buy what? What would that be? 18
36
times
of
2?
them?
Yeah, 36.
Just
36 on the tee box.
and we only do it when our girls are teeing off. No, they can't
No.
They can't have that.
That'd be funny. That'd be so funny.
So now we'll move on to soccer. Let's see. This Saturday, the 17th, they'll be playing Rochester University at Rochester. September 21st, a Wednesday, they'll be playing University of Michigan Dearborn. And then next Saturday, the 24th, will be home with a kick off their Crossroads League season against Goshen College. The good old Maple Leafs.
Screw them.
Yeah. And then men's swimming and diving, they will finally kick off their season with the LWC Fall Frenzy. We're going crazy.
Wait,
we're
they'll
going
kick
stupid.
off their. Is this their first year or second year? This is their second.
Second.
Yeah, that's
Second
right.
year.
Yeah. So year 2.
So it will be down at Lindsey Wilson College down in Columbia, Kentucky. That'll be the 23rd, 24th, and 24th. Oh, wow. They swim 2 sessions on Saturday.
Oh wow,
That's rough.
That's wild.
That's rough. And then for football,
boys.
as you said earlier in the show, you had a bye week
Yeah.
this past week, but on Saturday you will be playing Olivet Nazarene University at Olivet. It will be in Bourbonnais, Illinois, and you said you'll be going
Bourbon.
overnight. So
And we finally have a home game after that.
yeah, then you will
Jeez
finally
and
have a home game
peas.
after that, and we
And
have
it's
2
Trinity.
in a row. Yeah, so that will be a fest.
No, we're not gonna say that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't jinx.
yeah, can't jinx.
It definitely will be.
So, Owen, take it away with
All
the
right,
girls'
so
sports.
so the women's volleyball team. I don't know why I say women's volleyball. We only have one volleyball team. The volleyball team will be going against Huntington University on September 14th. So tomorrow, because we're recording this on Tuesday. So, but they will be in Huntington at 7:00. Then we will be back at home on Friday, so the day before this comes out, on September 6th at 7 against Goshen College. And by the way, we started conference, so I mean these are all conference games. And then on September 17th, the day the pod comes out at 3:00, we will be back at Lucky Arena against the team who's receiving votes of Bethel University. And then next Wednesday on September 21st at 7 p.m., we will be in Winona Lake, Indiana, against Grace College. And then on September 23rd, so next Friday at 7 p.m., we will be going against Marion. Or not Marion, we'll be here in Marion at Lucky Arena going against St. Francis University, our foes from Fort Wayne. And then we will be going against the crosstown rivals, Taylor University.
First of all, look at that. Taylor changed their logo.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, even on the helmets and stuff.
Bewildered.
Too. Yeah, it actually is kind of sick. Like, it's cooler.
I do like it better
agree.
than
It
their
is
old
cooler.
one. Yeah.
Shout out to Taylor, I guess. On September 24th, next Saturday at 3 p.m. So pretty much like right after the football game next Saturday, will be
Yeah,
a
I call
rivalry
that.
game. So you're gonna go to the football game and then go straight over there.
I guess I should have thought
You'll
that
probably go
out.
through the first. Wait, are you doing? The
I don't
football
know
game
yet.
Too? Probably. You'll probably be doing the football
Probably.
game. Yeah. So Taylor's ranked 18th, so pretty close to our rankings. So I mean, the girls probably said they've been on the come up, so they're probably the third best team in conference, I'd probably say. And then just a little sneak peek, the game after that's against number 3 in the country, Marion University, on the 28th. And that's also at Lucky Arena, so make sure you show out. The Taylor game will be in Upland though. So
Yeah, but we play them twice every year.
yeah, I know.
So
But
it
yeah,
will-
make sure
it'll be
make sure everyone shows out to good old Upland. Upland. So the women's cross country team will be in that same meet that the men's are. The Roy Griak. What'd you say? Did you even say it? The name of the event? Roy Griak Invitational.
No.
Okay.
Well, no. For the men's, it just
Oh,
said
yeah,
University
yeah.
of Minnesota. It didn't say
really?
that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, dude, this is at a golf course.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I had to. The golf team for the women's golf team, they will be playing in the Invite at Enos Brook in Palm Harbor, Florida, September 26th and 27th.
Wait, they're going to Florida?
Yeah, they're going to Florida. The
Dang.
boys are going to Chicago, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So girls get to go to Florida, some nice Bermuda grass, which personally for me, I think it's the best.
I've never played on it.
It's sick.
Well, I probably have when our family. We one time went on a golf vacation down in Florida. I probably
sweet,
played
yeah.
on it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's got more like I don't know. My brother knows. That's too down the line for me.
Yeah, same.
I just know we play bent grass here because at work. I know we would have to like reseed it. It's like bent grass and ryegrass.
Oh, that's interesting. Where I'm from, it's mostly Kentucky bluegrass.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably because you're more up north. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's specific seeding. Oh, dude, it's so.
Who
weird.
knows?
My boss would be like, "Hey, go put ryegrass on this green." I'm like, "All right."
Okay.
And then now moving on to soccer, so they can continue their domination. They'll be playing against number 15 Lindsey Wilson College at Lindsey Wilson, so over in Columbia, Kentucky, on September 17th. So this Saturday at 7 p.m. And then we're not back at home again. We'll be going to Goshen, Indiana, playing against your hometown Goshen College next Saturday at 7 p.m., the September 24th. I mean, we don't return back home until October 1st, and it'll be against Taylor. So, I mean, that'll be a pretty cool welcome back home game, but still, that'll be kind of weird, I feel like, for them is not playing at home a lot. But I'm pretty sure, let me go look back. Yeah,
they've had a few.
Yeah, they played at home a decent amount. So, I mean, I'm not too sympathetic for the girls. And then swimming, diving, like Donovan said, same schedule for the girls. They will be starting September 23rd, and then it will be their first session. And then, like Donovan said, we'll have a 2-session day on the 24th, and that will be over at Lindsey Wilson. And then final finally, there we go. I was lost English for a second.
I know.
Dr. Perry would be really disappointed in me for that broadcast performance class. Tennis. Women's tennis will continue their domination and look to continue to go on that streak of 9-0, make it 10-0 on September 16th, and then hopefully to make it 11-0 on the 17th against. So they'll be going against Indiana Tech, Lawrence Tech. Indiana Tech is 17th for the women's.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't receiving
I think
votes
they're
for the men.
receiving votes for men.
So they're 17th for the women's. This will all be at the Sutter, right?
Yep,
Sutter Tennis Center here on the campus of Indiana Wesleyan. And then, like you said, the Crossroad Leagues tournament will begin on the 20th of September and go through the 24th. So it'll be 20th, 22nd, 24th. Will be the first round semis, and then the finals. Hopefully they make it all the way. I think they will. I think they're. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
We are already 8. We won conference. We're 8-0 in conference. I don't think anyone. I mean, Grace College got a set on us, and Marion got a set on us. So I mean, our conference isn't really good. Women's tennis. I mean, Marion's receiving votes, so they're probably good. I don't want to I feel bad though if I say that right now they lose, that could be pretty bad. They may never come on again. Honestly,
yeah, maybe.
It could be
Who
really
knows?
bad. So, but no, Donovan, that's episode 1. That's Epi 1.
That is episode 1. And talking about the state of the podcast, we're gonna try to do it every week.
I think we can,
but I think we can do
if
it
we
every
can get
week.
it in early.
If we just can't get it in early, obviously, because someone has to juggle football and I have to juggle. That's you. I don't think I'm playing football. But then I also have to juggle sometimes doing sporting events, which this upcoming week I should be pretty free.
Honestly, I'm pretty down. I feel like we can do this every night at Tuesday. I mean, I'm chilling with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the security. The campus police came walking by, and one of the guys just looked in the door, and he goes, keep walking.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we'll be fine to work around our schedule. I don't think I think every week we need to try to get it out every week because dude, we didn't do a fall last year. We need to do a fall. We came up with this genius idea in the spring.
Yeah, we did. Isn't that wild?
It's a great idea.
You were doing those morning runs too.
I know, dude. I don't know how I did that. I'd come to the podcast and I'd be like, Donovan, I hate my life. And then I'd come back from the spring and I'd be like, I hate my life so much more. All right. Well, that's episode 1 of season 2 in the books. Uno.
Ooh, what do you think Ike's gonna get for lunch tomorrow?
By the way, if anyone
this is
doesn't know, this is a
thing.
TikTok thing. It got me through. It literally got
me through the summer.
Luke Watson, and I a couple other people. We'd go in the ice baths after practice, and we'd be like, "Yo, what's Ike getting for lunch?" And then it'd come out in 10 minutes, and so we'd all sit in there and wait for it, and then it'd come out, and we'd be like, "Oh, dang it!"
Because today he got Moe's.
Yeah, what did he? Oh, he got Moe's today.
Moe's.
So I think he's getting on Wednesday. I think he's Don's.
I'm gonna have to play a little bit safe. I'm gonna go with something like a Nick pick here, and I'm gonna go with. I mean, if he got Moe's yesterday, he probably got chicken with that. So I'm gonna go cutlets.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My first guess is Don's, but if he gets a Philly cheesesteak, that'd be pretty cool too.
That would be pretty cool. All right. Well, that's our guesses. So yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode of Wildcat Week. So until then, peace out.
Peace out.